All right, Shannon, I passed by your house 3 times this weekend. The lights were off all weekend. What were you doing? Where were you?
My kids were fending for themselves. I was working, slaving
I saw
away.
3 Domino's pizza guys. No Shannon in
Come
sight.
on, don't tell all my secrets.
You must have had a busy weekend.
Yeah, it was crazy, which felt good. It felt a little bit more normal. So I was showing houses, one in Fairfax, a couple in Haymarket, and then I held an open house on my new listing on both Saturday and Sunday. And the traffic was incredible, which is great. The new listing went under contract in just 2 days, which was nice.
Wow.
I know the owners really did their due diligence in making sure it was show ready. New carpet, new paint. I mean, it looked fantastic. And the house is, I don't know, maybe 16 years old. So it looked really good. And then we got beat out on the contract we wrote in Fairfax. There were 8 offers, 7 with escalation clauses.
What price point is that?
$600.
$600. It's hot.
It was listed at $600. Townhouse in city of Fairfax.
It was a good exercise, though.
It was a great exercise because it just shows you it's a competitive market still, particularly in that price range.
Yeah.
So we'll be back at it this weekend.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How was the traffic of the open houses?
So Saturday was a little slower than Sunday. Sunday for me, it was great. It was in Dominion Valley. Probably 15 groups through.
That's a lot.
Yeah, a lot of people through. There didn't seem to be any urgency of any groups. So I'm not sure if it was just looky-loos kind of starting their search, that kind of thing, which is fine. But the house is getting good traffic. And then the other house, again, in Dominion Valley, Chris held it open on Saturday.
Yeah. Yeah, it was filled with, we probably had like 35 people through the open house.
Wow.
Absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Crazy.
And, there were the 2 that were like, tell us about this. Is there an offer deadline? They're asking all the right questions,
Mm-hmm.
So they said, our agent will reach out to Shannon right away. And we were able to create that excitement, kind of like roll that into listen, we don't have an offer deadline. We're going to present offers as they come, be fair to everybody.
Right.
But if you're going to act soon, because we already had 1 offer in hand.
Wow.
So that's what we told people. And then we had how many?
We ended up having
offers?
3 offers.
Yeah.
And it was definitely escalated, which was great for the seller because all of their hard work paid off. So yeah, it was.
And we said escalated like it was escalated.
Yeah.
Isn't it amazing when clients take your advice?
I know, right?
It is.
It is.
When it's time to list the house.
The new paint, the new carpets.
Yeah.
Shannon lives in Dominion Valley. I live in Piedmont. 15, 20 years ago, different paints in every room. That was it.
And the yellows and the reds.
The brasses and the everything. That was in. We got it. We get it. But now, no, not so much. You have to neutralize it all the way around. People need to be able to see their own vision of living in that house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, when that happens, houses sell right away.
Yeah.
And sometimes, in this case, for a lot higher than market value.
Yeah.
Especially with the low inventory.
Yeah.
Right.
Inventory is so low. I think there's only 16 houses for sale right now in Haymarket, the whole zip code, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So, all right, 16 houses for sale. How many of them are your listings?
Right now, there's only 1 active.
Okay, but how many under contract?
We have 3 that are.
Yeah, Piedmont and Dominion Valley.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's good.
That's a good.
And then I have
market
2 more coming in the next
Maybe
probably
3.
Yeah, in probably 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Both in Piedmont and Dominion Valley.
Yeah.
2 in Dominion Valley, 1 in Piedmont.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
We are keeping score.
Okay.
We are.
So now we know why Domino's was at your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
She has no time to cook. So that's what
it's
it
probably
is.
not a bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how about you? How's the lending side of things?
Yeah. So it's interesting. We always try to figure out why things ebb and they flow, right? Like as far as application counts and closings. And it's interesting because I feel like at the end of January, there was a lot of hype on rates dropping, right?
Mm-hmm.
The last couple of weeks, rates have kind of climbed up a tiny bit,
Yeah.
right? And so I think right now we're seeing a ton of applications coming from the hype from the end of January, right? People kind of like wake up like, oh, rates went down. Let me go buy a house now. I've been waiting for a year or 2. even though my agent and my lender are saying don't wait,
Mhm.
right? While rates are high is a better time to probably buy in our market. They're now coming out. February, we probably have more closings in February than we've had in probably 18 to 24 months.
Wow.
So and it's a
Wow.
short month,
Yeah.
so I have just myself 12 in the next 7 days, right? So
Incredible.
these are insane numbers. These are great. These are great numbers. So I think a lot of people are picking up on, if you buy before rates go plummeting down,
Mhm.
you probably catch being on top of the wave rather than in front.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think that's why action is high right now.
Yeah.
It's why I think you guys are having people come out wanting to list their homes,
Right.
and applications and closings are just way up in a short month.
Do you attribute that at all to, you think the dam is finally breaking? People are just sick of waiting. They're sick of being on the fence. I mean, is this the beginning of that?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
it's I don't
know what else to point to.
because rates haven't gone way down.
No, they
No.
haven't.
I think all the pinup demand, people are
Mhm.
actually listening to the professionals, and we've been showing charts and graphs and side by sides of cost of waiting analysis. We've been
Yeah.
showing it for 2 years,
Yeah.
right? We all have.
Well,
We've been showing in the
and the
data.
shock of going from 3% or whatever the
Yeah.
crazy numbers were to where we are now is kind of
Yeah.
calmed down a little bit for people. Like, okay, here's where we are, so we still have to move, or we still want to move.
I did a buyer consultation an hour ago with a client in Arlington, right? And she was like, "Yeah, my uncle's got 4.2% rate, but if I wait any longer, how much am I going to pay for this $1 million home?"
Right.
Mhm.
It's
Exactly.
just she said it. It's a first time home buyer, right? The information's out there. People finally starting to
Yeah.
pick up. If I wait any longer, I'm kind of screwed.
Right.
Well, you're
Right.
priced out, or the cash buyers are going to beat you out every time, and
Yeah.
these first time home buyers especially are going to be the ones who lose out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get maybe less competition. Depends on the price point. I mean, you
Right.
said it, like you guys escalated like crazy.
Yeah.
You get a lot of people at the $9 to $1 million price point right now.
Right.
So
Right.
I think I would say the beginning of the dam is starting to crack.
I think so.
People are starting to get
Feels like
The
it.
infrastructure of the dam is starting to
Yeah.
be compromised a little
It's
bit. Let's
compromised.
hope. Let's
Yeah.
hope. Yeah. Yeah. Because how much longer can you stay in a 3-bedroom townhouse when you have 4 kids or 5? I understand during COVID, nobody wanted to move.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But eventually you have to move. You have to. I mean, life happens, that changes, whether you're downsizing or upsizing, you can't stay in your current house
Yep.
for too long. I know you've made it work because you have a 3% interest rate,
Right.
but
Right.
eventually that's going to change.
Yeah. Eventually it wears you out.
It does.
It wears you
It
out. And
does.
so you just, you establish a budget and you look. It's interesting. When I present the loan options, I tell people, hey, right now we're still it's a 2-part plan. Part 1, you get the house, fall in love with the house.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Date the rate, buy the house, fall in love with the house, will get you a comfortable payment. And then part 2 is you're going to refinance.
Right.
And what's interesting right now is I tell people the average mortgage is like 3 to 5 years in America.
It is,
Like the
especially in this
average.
area.
Yeah. So either add a body or you take away a body, right? Or you refi.
Right.
Like those are the things that happens. You have a baby, one goes away to college, right? Or you're going to refi,
Mhm.
right? So these are all the actions that turn homes over or turn over loans.
Right.
So it's just very common. It's just hard sometimes people to understand it,
Right.
right? But I like you said, I think they're starting to get it now.
Good. Yeah, absolutely.